What am I going to make today? No clue. Not your nose. It's your pingus. I guess I'm sculpting like some sort of arthropod? I don't know. I could make like sort of multi-legged creature because uh Exanima doesn't really support more than two uh two legs bipedal creatures yet. Soon though, I think. How do I pin chat to like my my screens? I don't have to keep alt tabbing. I can actually chat is up to. Can I pin this? Madari, I am sculpting a creature. I have no idea what it's going to look like. It is so fun about making creatures. When you're sculpting armor, you sort of have to have a general idea of what you want to sculpt. Otherwise, it's going to end up messy and just kind of disorganized. But with creature sculpting, you can embrace that messiness, which is pretty awesome. It's like the total opposite of hard surface sculpting. So yeah, I'm definitely going with some sort of arthropod shape. You can tell these are like a thorax and leg joints. Maybe I can do like some sort of really crazy. Here, let's see if I can just like duplicate this. Oh, make a multi word. The words escape me. Segmented body type. I don't know. I don't know. That looks cool, really. Maybe I think I'll just stick with one shape for now. Actually, and just with one piece first. I haven't really fleshed this out with it. What this is going to be. That. So yeah, it's gonna draw out some preliminary lines. Like figure out where the head's going to be. I guess this will be the head, and this is back carapace. Like the shell there, the rest of the abdomen coming out. That there. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to chat into. Yeah, okay. So here we go. So like the old man from a nice YouTube video cartoon. You can open chat on the phone. Oh, that's a good idea actually. I'll go do that. I'll go open Twitch chat on my phone. I don't have a separate monitor, which I should get. It'll actually help me for like references as well. Which one moment. Actually, I can just go to like I don't have to go to the channel. I can just go to the pop out, right? Which yeah, and then I'll just change the address bar to my channel. Death Rose. Oh shoot, I have to download the app. Okay, go do that. 82%. It's done. Xenomorph baby, no. I'm thinking about like just making something that um, could maybe fit into Xanima. I don't know. Or maybe I should just make something like in a completely different style. What do you guys think I should do? Still trying to install hey Xanima, try something alien? Yeah, maybe. By the way, I post all of the videos onto YouTube, and I recently enabled um, Twitch to save past broadcasts. I can just go to the previous broadcasts, and there should be something there. I don't know if it works. I haven't tested that yet. Yeah, I was thinking about like some sort of multi-legged beast. Because what's this? Welcome to Twitch. Login, sign up, login. Oh god, my password is like a generated one, million characters long. Shit. Whatever. I'll just do that later. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do like the Alt tab every now and then. And keep up with chat that way. Sorry guys. I'll have to figure that out for next stream. Right now I just want to get some sculpting done. Because sculpting is fun. Doing with Twitch is not. Get some like horns here. That could be cool. Some sort of horned carapace. That'd be fucking epic. Like little horns right there. And then for legs, I guess I can do some like Z-sphere stuff. So let me explain Z-spheres. It's, if you don't know, like ZBrush has a rigging system where you can just sculpt out these armatures. So I have the initial sphere here, and then I just drag out two different spheres that are attached to the armature, and you just keep inserting spheres. And this is quite useful for stuff like limbs. Yeah, limbs, anything really. Body parts, heads. This is like one of the greatest tools for character sculpting, and I use it quite a lot. Oh, you know, I could like give him some tiny arms, tiny little T-Rex arms to come out, and then when he's like eating, you know, like how a crab or a scorpion eats, they have these little claws in the front. I'll give him those, and then I was thinking about giving him spindly legs, but now that I think of it, not like super original. I kind of want to give him some really long but stocky legs, like really long legs. Oh, but he has to, that spider thing, there we go. Spider legs be the first set, and I guess he will be an insect. So I'll give him legs, maybe 8. Be a hybrid between insect and arachnid. Be pretty cool. Bob Ross is winking at. You flatter me. My voice isn't that soothing, is it? Morrowind creature. Yes, I've played Morrowind. It's really cool. Fires. It's inspired me to be a 3D modeler. Oh yeah, speaking about Morrowind, there's a character artist, a character creature artist named Jonah Loeb. He also does Twitch, and yeah, if you like what I'm doing, you should go check him out because I sometimes lurk in his channel and send him random Twitter messages. Yeah, and he did like Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, I think. No, Fallout 4. The one with the updated Deathclaw model he did. Not the original spindly looking one. The newer hulking Mad Beast Deathclaw, which I think he did like Mirelurks too. And the Draugr. Hey Zeth, why don't you try making a snail like alienish creatures? Uh, and we're in bed. You use like an anime girl. The fuck. All right, you guys gotta make up your mind. Should it be an anime girl or should it be a snail, or like an anime snail? Uh, like a senpai, don't hurt me. Snail. Cute little anime snail girl. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, this is gonna be a third set of legs. You guys are distracting me. Distracting me with your snail talk. Hmm. I gotta make all these legs a bit thinner and down a bit. Having issues. This one, this socket should probably be an actual pair of legs. Then I'm gonna add in smaller, what are they called, like pedipalps or something? Definitely scientifically accurate terms, anatomically correct terms for parts. I just think of them right now. Okay. Silent Hill twist on it. Yeah, maybe. Do like some sort of undead creature. I don't know. Be cool. Yes. Yes, that's right. All the two-legged, all the creatures with more than two legs were all eaten by the cat people of anima. Not Khajiits, because Khajiits are copyrighted, but the cat people of Exanima. It's that really creepy creature. I think it's called like the house scorpion. No, house centipede or something, or house cricket. I don't know. It gets posted on Reddit a lot. This really creepy looking centipede that crawls on people's walls and has a million legs. It does bite. Kind of looks like that from above. Needs more legs, but kind of want to keep the leg count um, less than a million. uh, give more character to the legs, I think, if there's just a few. If so many, also I don't want to sculpt like a million legs. Alright, let's go fine tune the legs a bit more. For animation, this has to be a bit, it can't be as bunched up. For animating things, it would be better if it's like right angles. Right angles could be good for this. Or maybe a little bit more obtuse. That could be cool. Like instead of like spiked up like that, it could be a bit more bent. I sort of want to give this guy a more um, hulking appearance. make them wider. Maybe like some sort of crazy aquatic sand flea, or like some sort of crustacean. Yeah, so there should be, in nature you'll find like patterns. So there should be like a pattern to this shell. If I'm adding one spike, there should probably be more than one spike. So there should be like maybe like a spine of spikes alongside the ridge, kind of like a jumping spider. I think a few species of jumping spider have sort of ridges here, and I always thought that that aesthetic looks really cool. And go ahead and add that, and yeah, it's already coming together quite quickly actually. I didn't think it'd take this. I didn't think it would take like what, like 10-20 minutes to put together a general idea, but hey, sometimes ideas come quickly. Overall, I think I find sculpting creatures to be a lot more relaxing than sculpting armor. The way things are, you don't have to be absolutely perfect about every measurement, so that looks good. Tabbing to the wrong thing. Bat whip spider, is that what it's called? See what it looks like. Bat whip spider. Oh, one of those. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, those things are creepy as fuck. Yeah, that's definitely a good reference for this creature. I could give, what you know what I could do? I could give him these giant batwhip scorpion uh, front claws. I think I'll do that. That's a great idea. I'll go ahead and do that. So, first of all, I need to get these legs out of the way. I think I gotta focus more on the legs. They're just everywhere right now and aren't really getting out too much. So, okay, so the front legs, they have to be claws. These things have to be claws. So that's bent out like that, and then let's go delete that for now, and move this forward. We have these massive claws. Let's angle them down a bit, because it's probably quite heavy. These claws will be rather heavy. As a human is like this size. Whoa, that's a small human, and it's inside the creature. Never mind that. I can always just do some scaling later, but I imagine like a human's gonna be like, the head's gonna be like right here or something, or maybe like even a little bit lower. So this is going to be a pretty big creature. Uh, Actually, those are pretty cool. I had a pet tarantula once. It's one of the best pets I had actually, but I had to move. My family was actually moving to Mexico, so I had to give it away to someone else, and it was a very sad day. Yeah, they're super chill. You can, if they aren't like um, if they aren't too aggressive. Like I had a rose hair, which sort of I heard was like the most beginner friendly tarantula, but I had a rose hair, and She just like sit on my hand. And yeah, we didn't really do much. Just like walk around. It was kind of trippy. Like I never thought a spider would weigh that much. But they're rather hefty insects. As this is a heavy, as this is going to be a heavy creature, the legs have to be splayed out a bit more to support all that weight. Kind of like a triangle of weight distribution here. Weight distribution is always something to keep in mind to make realistic sculpts. You always have to think about like how large is the creature, how much creature weigh, what does it eat, where does it live, what's its phone number and address, social security number, all that kind of good stuff. I imagine this thing would maybe like lurk at the bottom of like a lake or on the ocean floor and just sit there and like wait for uh, fish to pass by and snap at them like a some sort of underwater sea horror. Yeah, I can't wait for Exanima to have multi-legged creatures. I gotta get this out of my system. Like I have so many ideas for creatures for Exanima, and there's there's a few technical limitations, but I mean I understand them. Like there's so much more important stuff to get out of the way first, and it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna take a really long time to make sure like all the animations work with multi-legged creatures. If we even get them. I don't even know if we're gonna see them. But it would be really cool. Really cool indeed. Okay, should I give this guy any more legs? I feel like it needs like two small, yeah, it needs like a few small pedipalps here. In addition to the claws, and I think we'll be good on legs. Like two, or maybe like two sets could be quite cool, just like hanging out right there. I'm not too happy with the back part here. There needs to be. I wonder if I should like make the abdomen a bit bigger. Yes, right now it's kind of small, and yeah, if I just make it a little bit bigger, I think it would work out um, visually. And maybe like arc the back a bit more. Um, I'll make it look a bit more beastly. Like I don't know uh, why like our brains interpret um, an arced back like that to be a bit more strong or uh, fierce, but it does. I guess like instincts or something kick in, and they're like your brain's like, oh, okay, that thing's quite powerful, and these legs need to be these legs. So these back legs. This is why it's bothering me. It's because they're sticking out of the abdomen. They're actually sticking out of the thorax, I believe. Gotta have it connected to the thorax. Needs a singular leg coming from its backside. I heard heard elephants can stand on their penises. I mean, plausible. Of course, Boss Negro does that all the time, right? He has that ability to. I'll give it a joint here. I was thinking about like moving it down like that, but that's sort of more like a grasshopper or like an ant. They would have that bend there, but I want to have the opposite. That's a bit more like a crab, like some sort of crustacean. Crustaceans have like the opposite bend to them. Yeah, a lot in hermit crabs. If you ever kept like hermit crab as pets, have these really curved legs. Another thing, I should probably make these legs a little bit shorter. A little bit shorter and more stocky. They have to be a bit shorter and more stocky to support all the weight. The armored carapace. And lay them out a bit more. Yep. That upward. That. And I spent all day adjusting Z-spheres. Z-spheres is the equivalent of helmet dimensions. Hard, hard surface sculpting. Ooh. Press F, which centralizes everything. I'm like, whoa, why did the screen jump? Make the ends spheres smaller. Move them up a bit more. Legs are a bit tall. Now that I'm going with a more stocky look. That looks good. Looking pretty creepy now. I think these legs could move forward a bit more. I think those legs a bit more forward because it has to have support from the front too. And legs are here. Then we kind of get in the way of the message. Also, I guess we make the claws just a little bit smaller. Or maybe move them forward a bit more. That. Yeah, sure. That looks good. From an animation standpoint, I'd probably like move them out like that though. Alright, sure, why not? I'm gonna sculpt it in T-pose. If I sculpt it like this, then it's gonna be like a waste of a model. I want to reuse it later because that's gonna be that uh, that severe of an angle would suck for animation. So I'm gonna have to go that. Then you can just imagine it. I can just like pose it in a closed position after I'm done sculpting it. Go. Now let's go add a second joint there actually. Go like that, and then yeah, do like that. Gives it a bit more character. While the whiptail scorpion looks really cool already, I feel like the claws can use a bit more, be a bit more shapely. I guess. Probably not the best choice of words, but you know what I mean. Cracking my fingers again. Snark. What's a snark? Oh wait, is that from like Fallout? No, not Fallout. Half-Life. Half-Life 2. I think there's a creature in Half-Life 2 called a snark. Yeah, I knew it. Of course it'd be a snark. You're into source engine modding. Get rid of the duplicate. Don't keep tabbing onto them. These horns. I kind of want these horns to be bigger. I give the abdomen a bit of a unique shape. Instead of just round, I sort of want to go for like some sort of maybe like a stink beetle shape. Stink beetles have these really cool shield shaped abdomens. Now this like these prominent uh, contours here. I should link Jonah Loeb's Twitch into chat. Actually, he's kind of the guy who inspired me to stream my artwork on Twitch. You guys want to go check him out? Actually, I think he's trying to like build an audience too, like doing his own stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, super friendly guy. He helped me. He helped review some of my artwork once. Ooh, I sort of want to make the abdomen a bit longer. That could be really cool. So I do like the look of that. And yeah, maybe give it a few more legs. I don't know. No, I think it should still have a few. Okay, this model's a bit too big. I'm gonna unify it instead. So, can I unify? Well, actually, transpose master work with Z-spheres? No, it does not. Okay, I think this will work if I just go to Z-spheres and then push the size down. Yeah. Is my brush is already at 1000%, which should then get scale this model down. Oh wait, I should have in the measurements of this. How Negative 75 is good. Go to this one, negative 75. I'm just gonna type in negative 75. Is that really negative 75? What? No way. Smaller than that. What? It's so weird. It has like a different scaling property. Star. One of the many quirks of ZBrush. Now that I think of it, maybe it shouldn't have a super long torso. No. I think that's good. That looks realistic. I can imagine this thing existing in real life. It looked like this. That slope is actually pretty cool. I do kind of want like a sloop there. And maybe even curve it up a little bit, because I know like some relatively dangerous or creepy looking insects have kind of a curve to their abdomen like that. And I don't know, it just looks creepy to me, so I'm gonna add it. I know like there are real life examples of that. Break this out into abdomen, thorax, and I forgot what that is. It's just the head. 6th grade biology. What can I remember from 6th grade biology? Not much. Wow. I didn't keep up on chat. I have to scroll the way up. Okay, Alright, where do we go? The stream quality has seemed to improve. Yes, I changed the fan speed on my laptop. Before it was like set for gaming, so I didn't actually need that much power. Just got some kind of booster theory to me. Yeah, a lot of people actually say that ZBrush is one of a kind. It's not like any other 3D program. Well, I mean, except for maybe like Mudbox. I heard Mudbox is like a free alternative to ZBrush. So yeah, I should probably go use some Damien standard brush. I've just been using the move brush this whole time. Damien standard, and then start marking out a few key lines. I actually learned this from Jonah Loeb. There should be some very key primary lines that the creature has. And these lines will be the baseline for these lines will be the baseline. They'll guide where the rest of the lines go. The rest of the smaller lines. I guess it's fairly similar to hard surface modeling in that way. Give it some sort of like plastron, or is that what like turtles have, plastron? I forget if that's like the top or the bottom. I think plastron is bottom and carapace is top for turtles, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And the eyes. Ooh, the eyes. What should I do for the eyes? I had not thought about this. Also the head. I feel like I should flatten the head a bit more. Right now, the head is a bit too invertebrate-y, so it's not alien enough. It needs to be more alien. flatten it out. So that looks a bit more insect-like. It needs uh, some holes for. I'm using clay buildup now. Clay buildup without the alpha off. So normally it comes with alpha 28 or whatever number it is, and that's a square. So you'll get like these hard lines, which I don't like. So I just turn the alpha off, and then this brush becomes really good for just general blocking out and sculpting muscles and building up geometry in an organic way. I usually don't use this brush for armor. I'm just checking chat. How big jaws will it have? Probably quite big. Yeah, it's gonna be horrifying, and it might have more than one jaw. Oh lord, is that kind of one of those weird jaws that dragonfly larvae have? Maybe. I'm gonna take a look at dragonfly larvae. I don't know what they look like. Well, I sort of do, but I don't know like what they look like off the top of my head. Dragonfly larvae. But yeah, that could be cool. Oh, yeah, I know those. I think, shit, did I get bitten by one of those when I was a kid? Something bit me. It stung like hell. I think, like it was a water buttman, not a dragonfly larva. Water. It was like one of these guys. Stuck. Into chat. So yeah, I got bitten by one of these. It was so weird. It's like floating in floating in this pool, like one of those kiddie pools that you have out in the backyard. Just like a plastic tub for kids to play in. It was like floating in that kiddie pool. It's like my younger brother's kiddie pool, and like algae has taken over. Obviously, this is not a very well maintained kiddie pool, but yeah, it was just like floating around and just like swimming in there. I thought it needed help or something, so I fished it out, and it was just like staying really still on my hand, and suddenly it felt like a bee sting or something. It was a bit worse than a bee sting, and then it flew away. So these guys can swim, they can walk, and then they could also fly. So they're horrifying little monstrosities. Uh, this head needs more character. Right now, this head is like on an NPC level. It isn't like it doesn't have enough character. I need to give it more character. Like it has to be something you'll see and you'll remember, and you don't want to cross this creature ever again. So I'm gonna raise the head up a little bit more, so the head is quite visible and you can see it. I think that's going to be important because it's gonna have massive claws that will get in the way of the head from being seen. So I do want the head to be visible and horrifying. And this will be like the top, this arc right here, this will be the top of the jaw, perhaps. Then I need to bring out. Oh, what if I made the bottom jaw from separate pieces? So let's go drag in. Let's go drag in another sphere. Like shrink this down. Really small, so I can actually see it. And move over here. It's going to have like two. I want to say pedipalps, but I really don't know like the proper terminology anymore. There's totally different terminology for this kind of appendage. Like whatever, mouth parts. So I sort of want to have like one mouth part there that forms one part of the jaw and then another on the other side, and then maybe like two more that form the bottom. We do that and then like that, move this over, symmetry. So it would maybe, okay, so maybe 4 might be a bit too much. Maybe I should just do 2 for the bottom jaw or something. I guess I can just like move these out of the way, and then these will be the smaller claws that it eats with. So I could probably do this with these spheres, but whatever. I already have the spheres here, so I'm just gonna work with the spheres. I'm a bit lazy and I don't really want to drag out some more these spheres. So yeah, these could be the claws that it like munches things with, and these will be, well, that brings food into its mouth. And then these will be 2 parts of the jaw, of the lower jaw, because, whoa, symmetry is, come on, symmetry is on, right? Okay. Transform symmetry. Okay, that was weird. Okay, turn legal symmetry back off. Okay. Maybe I just wasn't pressing the wrong right button. I switched back over to my laptop keyboard because I noticed in the previous recording my mechanical keyboard is loud as fuck, and you just hear like clicking, clacking noises the entire stream, along with the waterfall. It was pretty embarrassing. So hopefully the audio quality of this stream is much better. All right, I'm checking chat again. Gotta check chat. Okay. Oh my god. I need to make the chat window bigger so I can actually see more. Right. Then drag it out. Man, it looks so effortless. More mandibles, please no. God fuck no. Spiders again. I gotta get the creative thing out of my system, okay? Like I can't make this for Xanima because technical limitations, and like when am I gonna make multi-legged spiders or multi-legged creatures? I just can't yet, but I want to, so I'm gonna do it as a personal project. Like, oh man, there's like so many ideas I have for creatures in Xanima. Like, you think that existing creatures are scary, right? But like, you guys have no idea like what nightmares lay ahead of you if Madoc gets multiple legs working. Oh my god, I'm gonna have so much fun. I sort of shoot. What is that? Diablo 3. Diablo 3 demon called the one with the spider legs, but it has a really horrifying mouth. Fuck. It's not one of the 3 primevals, but it's, where is it? I don't know. It's the wife of that hot spider lady chick boss that you kill. But yeah, the mouth. I sort of want it to have like a brutish, really. Well, you'll see what the mouth looks like. Oh yeah, I also want to, like crickets or grasshoppers. They have an additional piece of mouth part. God, these insects, they have so many mouth parts. It's crazy. Like, who designed insects? Must be like some sort of crazy madman who made these things. Like, God, why would anyone design anything with more than one mouth part? But yeah, they have like this upper lip that moves on its own. When they chew, you'll notice it. I think grasshopper, praying mantises also have this. but it's like a flat piece of carapace right here that's been modified, or I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just sculpting from memory now. I should probably go look up reference for this. But yeah, they have this thing right here, and it really does add quite a bit of character, I think. But I do want it to look a bit more scary than that. So let's uh, uh, and I should probably just zero mesh this because the bit high poly for the size. Let's go do half. Zero meshing it until it's proper. One more. Alright, that's good. And I should probably do the same for these guys. Oh, yeah. I'll check chat in a sec after I'm done zero meshing these things. But yeah, I want to be able to like, I should probably get chat on my phone, honestly. But that'll be for next stream, so I can work and talk at the same time to you guys. They're all tabbing all the time. Whoa, it just like moved on its own. That was so weird. Like chat window just like merged to the top of the screen. And oh, you can embed the chat into different windows of OBS. That's not really serving my purposes well. Demo Pan, what game is this for? No game. I mean, I work for Bare Metal on Xanima as my job, but we can't have multiple limbs yet, so I'm just making this as a personal project. Might see more horrors? Yes, you will. I will certainly be making more creatures in the future for Xanima. Rising Baptist. Yeah. Not Xanima. Not yet, at least. We'll see when that happens. It'll be awesome when it happens. Xanima horror switch thing. Yeah. Isn't already a horror game though? I would argue that Xanima is already a horror game. Like when I first encountered Sir, I was like, oh, am I gonna be working on that kind of game then? I don't actually play horror games, but I do play Xanima. The horror game. Zeph, hear me out. House centipede bugs during Xanima. We were just talking about house centipedes actually earlier. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Yeah, like scary, and also the physics would be horrifying as well from that many legs. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep sculpting them. I don't know if I kind of like how this is turning out, but I'm gonna keep working with this and see where it goes. Right now, it looks kind of like a awkward nose, and I'm not really digging that art, that aesthetic style. But I'm gonna keep working with this, and hopefully it'll get somewhere because I do think this detail is essential to insects because they have them. And then maybe I'll add like some membrane in between here. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited for this sculpt. Cool job. I don't like to change it. And a little bit. The eyes will be here. I'm gonna move them up a little bit more. And maybe make it so it can look directly forward. Insects don't really look directly for, except for I think like jumping spiders who need that binocular vision. And actually, we should probably add the eyes. I need to add a few orbs, eyes. So let's just go. Actually, mesh. Insert primitives. Just stick a few other primitives. Use this one. And just drag out 2 spheres. And maybe align them. They face forward ish. Looks like some sort of deranged Elmo. Looks like a tickle me not Elmo or something. Fuck, this looks creepy. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god, guys. You see, when you add eyes, the whole thing changes. The whole sculpt changes. Let's separate those. Hide, split hidden. And let's go back to move, brush. And I need to sculpt it so the eyes fit in. Should the eyes be that big? I don't know. I think I should make the eyes a bit smaller because the larger a creature gets, I think the eyes actually don't need to be as big. I think there's like some sort of like fall off or like some sort of curve on the efficiency of eyes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but I would imagine, like, due to like how physics work. Yeah, I don't know how physics work. Like, there's only like a certain size eyes can be before, like, if you make them any bigger, they'll just kind of be redundant in terms of usefulness. You guys know what I mean? Yeah. Some sort of beak. It needs a beak. Yeah, let's get a beak. Beak on there. Caw! Hey Harry, I'm your new pet owl. What's Harry's pet owl called again? Yeah, this is Harry's new pet owl. Still not a fan of how this looks. Something's wrong with it. Something is wrong with it, and I do want to keep fiddling with it until it looks good. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll just echo the shape that I already have down there. Kind of looks like a mustache now. Hmm. Let's. How about let's make this this thing quite a bit smaller. This is just going to be like a small vestigial part, and then let's give it a. It's going to be just like a. Like this thing shrank with evolution, and then instead of that, let's like give it some. Uh, Jaws. In here somewhere. Tool. Here it is. Now let's go give it mouth. Add that in. So what I'm doing is just keep bashing a mouth. So let's go. I'm not going to use this thing as it is, because I think that would be unethical to just use a kit bash as is. What I'm going to do is split this, and I have used this mouth before on quite a lot of exanimate creatures. But yeah, it is a very useful tool to be able to download other people's brushes and just use them in your own artwork. Super useful resource. I got this off of Bad King, which is a website for like ZBrush, free ZBrush brushes that you can get. Let's check that. Give it more eyes. Yes, I do need to give it more eyes. Yeah, good suggestion. I almost forgot about doing that. Let's. I'm gonna go make my own mouth. I want to use this mouth. It is a good mouth though. It's very useful. But I gotta learn how to sculpt my own mouth sometimes. Wait. Actually, I'm gonna keep working on. I guess I'm kind of like focusing too much into details right now. I gotta work on the general shape. Can't lose focus of the larger picture here. So I'm gonna keep working on the legs, and they're good. And this part here, I feel like it's maybe a bit too high. He's like standing up a bit too high, or maybe like the legs could be these joints here. Yeah, first joint could be a bit shorter. Some of these legs. Because I'm looking at this empty space here, and it doesn't look right. Empty space. I feel like it doesn't flow. Like a certain flow. Let's do certain flow to artwork, and have the eye. You'll notice that. Hey, you want to say hi to Twitch chat? Girlfriend's peeking around the corner, trying to distract me. I don't know. There's probably like less than a dozen. I haven't checked. I don't know. Maybe one. Yeah. There's a certain flow to artwork. Keep in mind of aesthetic flow. And that's not it. That is not. That's not a good look. Let's undo that. It's the legs. It's not the carapace. The carapace is good. The legs are what needs adjusting. So let's go do that. The legs. Let's go move them higher up again. Let's really make them a bit higher. Yeah, that looks proper now. Do like that. There we go. You see, that totally changes the creature completely. It actually looks good now. And let's raise these up a bit more, like that. Also the same for this. Actually, yeah, it looks good if it's like slouching down a little. Move this. So, yeah. Oh, you know what would be cool? Like some really long antennae, like lobster antennae. Let's go do that. Let's go drag in some more sea spheres, and then let's go throw in some crazy antennae. Put in two long ones, sort of in the front, so it'll kind of give it like a cockroach look. Let's stick them here, kind of close to the mouth, I guess. Because it uses them to hunt, to probe deep crevices in the underwater environment, going back to the where it lives. Oh, well, maybe actually, let me like bend it around like that, and then make it curved. Yeah, I think I saw like a beetle, like some sort of like longhorn beetle. Is that what they're called? Longhorn beetles have this antenna shape. Uh, yeah, it kind of follows like the body's arc. Uh, Stick a few more spears here so it's rounded. But then again, in a game, these antennae would be a little bit troublesome. Okay, so I think it should have antennae, but I think they should be a bit shorter. Maybe just like prongs on its head, and like horns. So it'll be game compatible. Um, you always have to think of it from like a gaming standpoint, and I try to focus my art so it would actually work in an actual game. So this would be much less troublesome to animate, and I think it does go. Oh, I don't know if I like that look. Oh, I can give it like these little eyebrows. Yeah, that would give quite a bit more expression to face. Like if I make the antennae kind of like eyebrows, like mean, angry, old man eyebrows, that will give it a lot more. Yeah, I like this. It'll give it a lot more of, I think a lot more expression to this creature. So now he looks like a angry old man who can spill his hot coffee on you or kick you out of the house and tell you to go make money. Your bootstraps or something. I don't know. And now I need to fix enough. This thing has been bugging me forever. I mean, it really looks like an old man with his mustache now. I don't know. Uh, I'm just gonna hide this. I don't want to work on it right now. It's a bit too troublesome. And I'm just gonna move this back. Maybe I can separate this plate out later. But this cooler, I think. And the eyes. How about the spacing on the eyes? Spacing good. Maybe they should be closer. Yeah, let's make those eyes closer and subsequently make these brows closer. See, the model is still pretty low poly, which is very useful. If I started with high poly, like I divide this a couple times, it would be a real pain to sculpt. Oh, the head's showing up. Control H, delete hidden objects. I don't know if that's default. Control H. Maybe I put that in because I use delete hidden objects a lot. But yeah, handy shortcuts. Shortcuts are always good. And there's some detail on the chest I want poking through here. Let's go draw that out more. Gonna have kind of like a stocky thorax. and I really need to make the abdomen a bit more stocky now that I'm like compared to the front half, the bottom half isn't really very thick. Yeah, welcome, Pericles. I'm working on a creature sculpt instead of armor. It's gonna be like some sort of underwater. For those who've just joined or don't know, this is going to be like an underwater sea monster sort of creature that feeds off of dead sailors or something. No. Also like dead whales. Super creepy. I'm gonna hide the antennae for now. The antennae are kind of like superficial at this point in sculpting, so I don't really need to see those right now. I need to work on. I really need to just work on the general shape, not get too hung up on the details. Said countless times. These need to be zero mesh too. Those. Make them very low poly, so they're much easier to manipulate with my move tool. So the head is a bit too rocky. Move that up. Actually, let's zero mesh this. I think it's about time to zero mesh. I'm pulling it a bit too much now. There we go. Geometry is much better. Let's do one push. Okay, there we go. Now it's the geometry is much easier to work with. Sculpt on top of. Do solo. Let's go redraw our Damien standard lines again, so I know what's going on. What is this part? This will be like the upper jaw part. I do like this detail here. That is kind of like the cheekbone. And then I keep enhancing certain areas of the sculpt, and hopefully you'll eventually see all of the main shapes come together. I need a place for the lower jaw pieces to connect. So that's what I'm focusing on now, and I should probably save this now that I think about it. And save it. Save it as projects. I'm gonna make a new folder. Call it Sandflea. Sure, why not? And yeah, keep working on this. There. By the way, how's everyone doing on fine Friday night? I kind of wish I had some booze, actually. I haven't had like any beers or alcohol in forever because, for one, we're in quarantine, so it's hard to get groceries. But I do get them delivered every now and then. And two, I'm in Malaysia, which is which has a very high Islamic slash Muslim. I don't. What is the difference between Islamic and Muslim? Is there a difference? I don't. I hardly know anything about religion, and it's a big uh, kind of like a blind spot of mine, which I could rectify. Because there's a lot of really cool mythology and stuff in religion. Although even I'm not religious myself, it is interesting. It's good to know because a lot of people are religious and it would be nice to understand how they perceive the world. But yeah, that was like totally off topic. It would be nice to have some booze right now. Something strong. I like strong alcohol. I'm not alcoholic though. No. My dad, my dad in China, he has like a shelf full of alcohol. It's really strong stuff. Uh, like these white spirits. I think they're like, I don't know, vodka level or like Everclear level alcohol, or maybe even a bit higher. I'm not sure. Called like Baizhou though. Bai means white in Chinese, and Zhao means alcohol. So white alcohol or white spirits. Check chat. uh, isn't Islam and Muslim the same? I don't know. Is it? I'm like so ignorant. I really should do some research as I'm living here. Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Muslim person is a follower of Islam. Okay. I heard boobs. The boobs. Wish I had some strong boobs. I do wish I had some strong boobs too. Like, as a game developer, like you just kind of stuck at home and or stuck at your desk 24/7. I mean, well, I guess yeah, that's kind of just like blaming my profession, which getting up and doing stretches and exercises now and then, but whatever. Who has time for that when they have art? I'd rather just do art and not live a few more years than those years doing art. Anyway, yeah, right now I'm kind of just like sculpting kind of from memory about what the underside of a cooked crab looks like. So that's what I kind of have in my head right now. I'm imagining this is kind of like a cooked crab. And they have like the plastron here. This would be the plastron, and they have the legs coming out on the sides. And of course, you pull those out for tasty, tasty crab meat. Delicious Californian Dungeness crab meat, which I haven't had in forever because I haven't been in California for like 6 years. Yep, and I think you'll see this on like ants or something, but they have like a cord right through here. They have like a small attachment here, and then the Damien under this area right here. All these tiny little nuances to life, and like the more you can pay attention to your surroundings and like nature, you get a ton of ideas. I think I like do like that line. This particular detail here you'll find on the underside of like spiders. There's kind of like a um, lateral line. Man, I really gotta study up on my anatomy. Like, insect anatomy is pretty wild. Kind of like make one here, but this is gonna be like the opposite. So there's gonna be like a ridge line instead of like a concave line going down here. And I can use my knowledge about armor and just like add a few flutes here. I think a few flutes on the carapace would make it look pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, that really brings things together and kind of gives it like this sleek but sharp look. And then let's go add some more detail here. Like I've totally neglected this part, abdomen. I want to give it like a leathery texture, and then top it off with some spiny carapace on the top. I think there's like different variations in. There's like sexual dimorphism as well. So I heard in like uh, fish abdomens and fish bodies are thinner in males, and in females they're a bit fatter, or vice versa. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, sexual dimorphism is something to keep in mind. But I really don't know what sex this is gonna be. It's probably just gonna be it, like the legs. That looks pretty good. But the abdomen, as you see here, is like interfering with the back legs or vice versa. Actually, you know, I think uh, the back legs can move like that. Actually, they can be. Some creatures have some really crazy looking back legs, especially beetles. They'll just go around the abdomen instead of getting in the way. I think that's what I'll do here. Yeah, that looks really accurate. You can move it in line because there's like a curve here. As with most limbs, like your fingers and such, or joints, curve, natural curve, all body parts. Line, that line, this guy here, there, a bit too far out. Maybe I can turn the rear legs into flippers. That could be a good idea because this is an underwater creature. Check chat. Add some spikes in the abdomen. Yes, that would be cool. The end should be closer, not so far back, but I'm not an expert. By end, do you mean the abdomen? So I can go see. That might actually be good. Let me see what that looks like. Move that mask out. Let's go. Yeah, that could be good. It kind of looks like a tick now. I like that. Maybe longer? Ooh. You know, I think I might have to go longer on this. That just looks too good. That looks like an aquatic creature now. And they should make it a bit thinner too. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. No, actually kind of wider. if it's wider, it's gonna make it look a bit more original, I think. Because you don't really see this kind of stuff in video games, and I wish you would. So I'm trying to do that. Then there's a line here. You see the ridge line. It has to, the abdomen has to continue with that ridge line, I believe. I'm just gonna move that up a bit. So, and now it is in line. So there's this curve all along the body. And we might as well add a few more ridges, like some starter bumps, so that I can like measure that out better. And the Damien standard in few lines here, abdomen. Just measuring things out for now. I'm gonna add a bit more detail to the lines. Yeah, shut up a bit and some bulk work done. I'm not being too accurate on this thing, which is something to strive for. If your brush strokes are a bit too accurate for creatures, then you might miss out on some of the things they can do, or things that you'll see. Like, you can just like draw on a few curves or something, or I'll be like, hey, that curve actually looks pretty good, and it's something that I haven't thought of before, or hey, that bump there, that could turn into a horn, or these lines could turn into, I don't know, anything. I'm gonna do some, I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna try doing this. I sort of want to figure out what color I want this creature to be. As it's gonna be on the seafloor, I'm thinking it's kind of like a crab, so it's gonna have a whitish, yellowish belly. But first, what material? Let's change this material to toy plastic. Toy plastic is good because it gives you that sheen, that glossy, wet look. So let's fill this with a off-white color. Like that. Good. Maybe a bit darker. A bit darker. A bit lighter. Lighter again. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna fill this material and RGB. That's selected. They're just RGB and material. So if I just want the material, I'll have that on. If I want color, I'll have RGB on. If I want both, I'll have mRGB on. Fill object. And then let's go switch to the carapace. I want this to be a dark, what about like a dark blue? That could be really cool. I haven't really worked with blue before because the creatures I make in Exanima are all like red colored. It'd be cool if there's like a blue, grayish blue top. So let's go to standard brush, then turn on RGB mode, turn off Z-add, which is geometry, and then start filling in the top here. Actually, instead of doing that, let's go turn on backface mode, so I can just get a giant brush and just go cha, and That works. That works out just fine. I don't even need to do anything else. I mean, it could have been a little bit more accurate. Let's go do a bit more accurate with Cha, and then also have it. I think it's a bit too saturated in color and too dark, so let's go do that. Can it be better? Yeah, let's go do that. Good. Be a bit more accurate this time. And wait, actually, let's go try lazy mouse. I don't like lazy mouse. There, so much better. Let's do that. We put some time and care into our artwork instead of just flashing it with color. Okay. Very tell it's has much more character with color on. Solo mode. Oh, whoa, black legs, pretty cool. But I'm gonna go with this color for now. And then I'm going to turn the legs into geometry. Geometry from Z-spheres. Go put some spikes in. Spikes. About time to add the spikes. I want to turn these into claws, as they are claws. What if I add like a tiny claw at the end here, and then have the rest be kind of like that whiptail scorpion that I saw. You guys sent me the ref of. So there's gonna be a tiny claw, utility claw in the end here. But then after that, there's gonna be like the jagged claws, the jagged spikes all down the arm. You see in whiptail scorpions. I do that. So it has a little bit of utility. These claws have more utility than just killing prey, catching and killing prey. They can actually pick up small objects. Let's go do that with all of the legs. So all of the legs can actually climb like jagged rocks and underwater structures. And while I'm thinking about that, I think each leg should also have some sort of shape to them that allows thing to swim underwater. So maybe I should go look up some shrimp references. These shrimp swim very well for crustaceans. They have a very interesting means of locomotion by using hundreds of legs, but maybe I can take a look at those legs, figure out what's going on, and give this guy shrimp legs. Oh, the back legs. I think I wanted to modify these into like a pair of flippers, so I think I'll leave these alone for now. And then you do need to be a bit longer though, the flippers. These back legs are going to be flippers. This middle leg go back a bit more to support, give some more support. So it has two main crawler legs, and maybe it uses its front legs to move as well, kind of like a praying mantis moving around. They use their front legs to climb and all that, in addition to killing. So I'm gonna move these, place this into the socket a bit better, maybe a bit, make it a bit bigger too, stockier. In fact, I'm gonna make all of these limbs, all of the joints here, a bit more stocky. And I haven't checked chat in a while. I'm gonna go do that now. Oh, okay. back legs should be a bit closer. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I still need to add some more detail to that. This looks like the kind of creature you'd violently start shaking its abdomen to intimidate you. Yeah, yeah, maybe. That is a good point. It doesn't look very offensive. I could make it look more offensive. Right now, it sort of just has like the body structure of like a cockroach. I think like more offensive. Maybe I can make the thorax wider, like right here. Is for offensive creatures, they kind of have like really they're very front. Whoops. Let's get back to move, and then turn off RGB. The add. Uh, they have they're very front-loaded animals. I think I know what you mean. Like the front of them are very strong. Yeah, there we go. This, I think. Let me know if this is what you mean, but I think this is what you mean. It could be a lot wider, and I think that maybe gives more power to their limbs. So kind of like a bodybuilder has a giant chest, thing will have a massive chest or thorax. And these legs are just coming out of nowhere. So let's go. Maybe I have to extend the thorax back a bit. So it needs some room for the leg to connect. What is this thing even connecting to? Okay, so I'm gonna move this up. Then that. Move this back. That. And then make like this ring. There's like this ring of carapace and keratin around every joint. I want that detail to be there. Crab, lobster. Oops, I don't want MRGB on. I want the 3D. Go. Oops. Wrong button. Okay. Now time to adjust the head a bit more. Longer spikes. Longer spikes will make anything more aggressive. Same way, and it's the same thing for like environment design. Like good environment artists know that the more spiky you make something, the more dangerous the place looks. So you can use spikes. In Exanima, you'll see this. In the first few levels, there's just like barricades and spikes everywhere. That detail there is what makes you feel like you're in a dangerous place. And in like Morrowind, the trees, in the Ashland, whoever designed those 3 trees understood that spikes will make a place look menacing. That you are in hostile territory. And these spikes in here. And I can even like make it even more rocky looking. Rocky is an apt description for this, as it lives on the sea. Oh, and I can actually like that. I can add like a small spike on its forehead. That. But yeah, like rocky is a good description that will help me sculpt this creature. because it could pretend that it's like a rock on the seafloor. And then whenever anything passes by, of course, it'll snatch it up. I'm gonna give it some more aggressive eyes. And I think it might be time for another remesh. And maybe in a bit. I'll do it after I make these details announced. And just curving the tips. Give it some more shape. Give it some more shape. Then I really need to make it pay attention to the y-axis model. And it's also really fat from this angle, so I'm gonna reduce the size of its abdomen, its cross section. Chat say. Okay. Yes, that's partially what I meant. Love it. You can also use the excuse that it's a female/worker if you want. That's super. Thanks. Yeah, like sexual dimorphism, for sure. Gotta figure out like what sex this thing is, if it even has sex. What a forehead. A bit off topic, but which are your favorite game art design? So for game art design, tricky one. I guess I like all designs really. It depends on. I know that's kind of like a cop-out answer, but it depends on if it's good art. You know, I like good art. It's not so much about the design because, like, even though I do a lot of realistic stuff, I can do cartoonish stuff too, and I can do like point and art style. I can probably mimic it. It really depends on if it's good art or not, and that's what I appreciate most. But for specific, I have to say I do prefer like realistic or more real art styles. Like the current, like what I'm doing for Exanima is pretty much my favorite kind of art style. Like, you know, uh, realistic is good. More importantly, I do like art that makes sense. Like it has to make sense um, from like a realistic standpoint. Uh, you know, you see like a bunch of fantasy armor that, I mean, it looks cool, but would it actually work? And the answer is usually no. It wouldn't work at all. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, it is like a lot of wasted potential. Like, if the artist knows how to make something look good, but they don't know how it would function, well, it's not too hard to like look online to see if the thing you've made existed before. And like in plate armor, there's a ton of references out there, and like people do make plate armor for video games, but I feel like a lot of these artists that do make plate armor, they don't really study, they don't really do the research, and doing research is a really valuable thing. Like Well, while I was like making this creature, I already named off a ton of species that I kind of know off the top of my head just from uh, I don't know, like life experience. And sometimes I get bored and I just go to Wikipedia and figure out like uh, look up random articles or pages on animals, or I'll see like in my YouTube recommendations, I'll see like something about animals or pets or uh, like aquarium stuff, or um, yeah, or like fishing videos. I kind of like there's a few fishing channels that I'm kind of into. Like there's like Fisherman's Life, which is pretty cool. It's just like a guy out in the Bay Area usually, and he just like catches fish and stuff, and has a good time there. And yeah, just like if you want to be a 3D artist, it really helps. It pays off in dividends to do some research before and look at references before you actually make something. And yeah, if you're gonna make like good artwork, you should make it good. Or well, if you're gonna make artwork, you should make it good, because you never know if the game is gonna be really good. In this case, like I have a strong suspicion like Exanima is going to be a very, very awesome game. People will remember this game for years to come. And if I do like a bad job, uh, like if I make poor art for Exanima now, then like people are gonna play this game, and they're gonna spend a long time. People spend hours, hundreds, thousands of hours playing games, and it has to look good. It really has to look good. But yeah, I totally went off topic there. I went from what's my favorite game design to talking about philosophy. Wow. Yeah, man. People spend a long time playing games, and gotta make a good game. Gotta make something worth the player's time. Like I'm a player myself. I play a ton of games, and some of these games, well, they have sure they have great dev teams, but some of them, uh, I don't know. Maybe they don't really respect their players' time very much, or I don't know. Maybe they had like a bad day and they don't really feel like doing good work, or maybe it's just a really big company and they don't. Maybe they don't really care too much about making games, and to them it's just a job to them. But yeah, I feel like this creature needs like a secondary second set of spines balance out. Yeah, like that or something. This part is a bit too smooth for it now. Just stick out these spines. Well, much better. Oh, I really do like for art styles. I really do like Monster Hunter's art style. Whoever made those monsters is really good. Like the artist on Hunter, like they understand like how monsters look and behave. They did their research. Those guys, they really did their research. Cool game. Add a few notches here. Separate out the joints. I should probably actually convert the legs tree. I knew I was gonna do that earlier, but I kind of got carried away on doing some other stuff. Oh yeah, also, I don't know if I'm gonna do a 7-hour stream marathon today. Even though it is the weekend, it it really messed up my sleep schedule, and I kind of had a hard time staying awake today. So I'm gonna end the stream when I'm actually tired, and not just like end the stream when project is done. uh, Actually, speaking about that, I think I'm gonna take like a few minutes break. But first, comments. Just let you say, yeah, okay, great job. Yeah, like the whole team really likes this game. Um, I'm really, uh, I'm really fortunate that Maddock is a really good leader. Like games need good leadership, and that's what Maddock is. I like your random shows. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of politics in companies. It's You could have designers that are like the best of the best designers. They're like the top of their league. They've worked on massive titles like, I don't know, uh, like Call of Duty, Mass Effect, Fallout, whatever. Any of the family name games. And then I don't know, like there could just be like office politics that are just fucking the game over. So you never really know, and it's never never a good thing to bash on other game game developers or games, especially when you're in the industry, because it's a small industry, and like I don't know, if you want to find work somewhere else, you probably shouldn't talk bad about them. Well, yeah, not that I'll not that I'm really looking for other work. I'm probably gonna be at bare metal for a while. Uh, but anyway, yeah, I gotta go take a piss. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna make some tea. My teacup. Okay, I am back. Warning, this game is actually different. Yes, Exanima is a very unique game. Let's see. I wanna do something special with this head. It's pretty cool already, but it can always be cooler. With the shape too, you know? Something always off. I think the snout, I know it is. The snout is too long. I want it to have like a short, uh, pug-like mouth face. Has to be very flattened. And then I'll add like some sinewy detail that connects all of the moving parts together. I'll make this wider too. Oh, you know what would be cool? There's like parts that you can see through. Like these concavities. Cavities, or I don't even know if that's a real word, but you can see through like certain parts of the mouth. That'd be really crazy cool. Oh wait, I should probably add. I'm gonna add. Well, actually, I'm gonna zero mesh this for sure. Maybe, yeah, I think I'll dynamesh this because yeah, I'm gonna dynamesh this. That'll keep the colors. If I zero mesh it, I think Might not keep the color. Use poly paint. Does that work? I've never really pressed that button before actually. What does that do? Is that Z remesh based on poly paint? That'd be crazy. What? I don't know. I don't even know if that did anything. Maybe. Who knows? I gotta figure out what that button does. There's still a few functions that I don't know. Why is that pink? I know of ZBrush. Okay, let's just go. Watch this. Let's go try 512. That's a bit too high. A bit too high. Let's go do 256. I like keeping it in like. I mean, you can just choose like some arbitrary number, but I do like keeping it kind of organized. I don't know. Don't know why. Okay, that's a bit too low poly. Let's go back to 512. 512 is okay. I can build with this kind of. I can work with this. It isn't too high poly, so it is kind of up there. Let's polish it a bit with the poly detail. All right. I was going to add in. This is going to be like the hard carapace part, like the facial carapace, and then there's going to be like a soft inner part full of teeth that I want to add to this thing. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make some room for the inner mouth. I want to make like this fleshy worm-like mouth full of teeth and nasty. All right, that's pretty good for the. That's kind of good for now for the upper jaw portion. Let's see what we're gonna do with the lower jaw. More spikes. I want this thing eats mostly decaying. I want to say like dead or decaying creatures, or maybe like injured prey where it can catch it, and then it's also like an ambush predator. So it's a scavenger and an ambush predator. This is what this is going to be. So I sort of want to give it like these shovel-like mandibles, so it can like really scoop up large chunks of flesh and just devour it. Is it has quite a big appetite. The big boy. It needs big boy food. Not just he's not happy with the kids' Happy Meal. He needs a double Whopper, double patty Whopper, and a large Americano. I've been eating so much. Well, not I don't want to say like so much, but I've been eating a lot of McDonald's recently because of the quarantine. A bit depressing, but it's also kind of fun. Usually, I don't really eat McDonald's. This is really fun. I really like sculpting this guy. I'm really getting a kick out of this. Or as Darren would put it, I'm really starting to enjoy this. You know, I think I'm starting to enjoy this. That's what he says. Now I'm not really sculpting from reference right now, but I'm kind of just sculpting from artistic, uh, like an artistic feeling. I'm sort of like feeling my way around how this geometry should look. One of the ways, I don't know if anyone's heard of this before, but they have it in engineering too. It's I forgot the terminology. It's like something like it's something design. But once again, just like feeling out the flow, figuring out how things flow together in terms of shape and structure. There should always be a logic to how shapes work. These claws need to be wider apart, like crab claws. At least where they start. Since I've moved out the thorax, I do need to move the arms outwards. Well, maybe from there, let's just get rid of that. And let's actually make it a bit wider. Yeah. And up, maybe. I do want to see these spines in the silhouette. That's another thing. Silhouette is very important in design. Silhouette is what makes characters original. It's what defines the look of games. Well, game characters. For a good game, you want to be able to, if you just like blacked out an entire character but kept the silhouette, you should be able to identify it immediately as a certain character from a certain franchise. Like anyone could be like a silhouette of Sonic the Hedgehog, and they would know instantly that that is Sonic the Hedgehog. That's his silhouette because it's such an iconic silhouette, and I think that's what all artists should strive for: iconic design. And that's kind of why I'm putting in Anima as well, iconic design. You know, with like the gobblers. I mean, it's kind of been kind of done before, but not. But it's less common. You don't really see something like a gobbler in other games. What does chat say? Tentacle. This guy, so it is a dude. Okay. Yeah, I guess the dude keeps calling you a guy, so it's gonna be a guy. This needs to be like lower or something. I think like right there. Yeah, right there. I think. No, don't know. Don't know. Inside. Or maybe like lower and in front as well. Like coming out from a bit underneath him. Yeah, I do like that. Makes sense too, really. Let's go do that. Let's go make these arms come out from underneath and sort of in front. think that gives a more insectoid look to him. They're just coming up from here. That doesn't look good. That is a lot better. Again, mostly just playing this from ear and also remembering things that I've seen before. That does mean I need to make a new socket for his leg, which I don't mind, but is I should have just done before on our. Ooh, I do like that. The higher poly does work kind of well with features. Usually I try to keep everything as low poly as I can, but sometimes it does work out. It really depends on what you're sculpting. And I guess I can just like turn this into some sort of like detail or goes. Yeah. Worked out some. Let's use naming standard. Knock in a few holes. Dynamish that again. Move that out and dynamish again. And move the rest of the legs as well. Oops. That here. Good. Maybe there. Here's good. And then no, wait. I do like it is farther apart. The front claws are special. They're quite close. These ones. A little bit wider. And of course I do need to move them out a bit more so it can be rigged and animated. Even though I don't know if I'm gonna rig and animate this, I should sculpt everything if there was the intention to rig and animate it. Just good practice. In. Just, I might send a screenshot of this guy off to general, see if anyone else might be interested in watching the stream. Yeah. Oh, let's go try orthographic. Gobbler took me by surprise when I first saw it. I love how weird it is. Thanks. I want to make like original designs so people will see something and instantly know that it's from Exanima. Like they won't be able to confuse it with any other game. They'll be like, okay, yeah, that's definitely Exanima. I place these legs correctly. Never really realized how important leg placement is for arthropods. Patients. It is super important. Right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go crazy with the Damien standard brush and uh, see what kind of shapes I can pull out of this. But first I want to turn off poly paint. Poly paint, yeah, there it is. I want to turn off that because it's starting to distract me. I just want to have plain gray so I can really see what this guy is all about. Damien standard, and let's go start with his face and then work all the way down. So first we have his eye. Let's Damien standard that. Bring out some more detail here, and then we want to make sure that the main lines are good. So just flesh that out a bit here, and carapace goes all the way around. Let's go make the brush a bit larger, and then make some concavities here. Just cavities, really. I don't even know why I keep saying concavities. That's not even a word. Let's say cavities, man. Like so. You can pull out. Something I found out is that you can really pull out a ton of shapes if you just like draw random circles all over the surface of a creature. You just draw whatever. Uh, just really have at it, and just and stuff really just starts popping out. You just draw spirals. That's all you do. Just keep drawing spirals and just feel your way around the sculpt and see how it's turning out. I don't even know what these holes here are for, but it looks cool, so I'm just gonna go with it, you know. I don't really. And the inside of the mouth, of course, it's gonna be really freaky looking. So that's what we're gonna do here. After this pass of detail, you guys are really gonna see how this artwork pops out, and people are like, "Ah, oh, okay, so that's how the creatures of Exanima were made." Yeah, just like use Damien standard brush. This is a magical brush. Although, you know, I think, like some artists have made uh, even better versions of Damien standard brush, if you can believe it. Not. I think Orbs. There's this famous 3D modeler who's made some very famous brushes called Orbs Damien standard brush. I have it. I don't know why I'm not using it. Maybe it's just because I'm lazy or just because I'm used to this brush, but I heard it's a lot better. I might switch over, but maybe it's better for hard surface. I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe it's better for hard surface, and I just don't use brushes for hard surface. At least not very often. So that's probably why I just don't use it, because I use the move tool a lot for hard surface. And yeah, by hard surface I mean like armor and stuff, for those who don't know. So yeah, I just use move brush and the curve cut, curve clip, curve. I use those brushes a ton for hard surface. I don't have the time to deal with brushes when it comes to the hard surface, because once you start using brushes for hard surface, you just end up spending a ton of time smoothing over stuff that you don't really need to smooth at all if you're just using uh, clip curve and like other Bezier line tools. Of course, this does depend on like the art style. If you're going for more like a painterly look, or like a crude World of Warcraft look, say you're like designing some really chunky orc armor, you wouldn't want to use this method. But if you're doing what I'm doing and making like 16th century plate armor for a fairly realistic video game, than you would want to use curved brushes. We forgot to check chat. Talk to myself. Uh, okay, all right. Sorry, probably missed saying goodbye, but I'll see you later, Pericles. Maybe too many cavities now. Yeah, there's definitely too many cavities. I'll smooth some of them over later. Like I want to put in a bunch of cavities and details now, and then I can just like what I'm gonna do later is I'm gonna fill in some of it with muscle detail, and that's what I do organic details. That's what I found works quite well. But yeah, more holes, more holes. By the way, if anyone has trypophobia, uh, I don't know why you're still in the stream. This is pretty disgusting. Do, 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 do. I'm not spending too much time on this and throwing in random noise detail. So you know, like how I'm kind of doing um, word, kind of doing like how you'd shade with a graphite pencil if you're just doing some sketching. I'm kind of like shading in the dark spots. If you're doing like uh, say if you're doing like some sort of drawing with normal printer paper with a graphite pencil. I used to do that a lot back in high school, and I'd never pay attention at all to what the actual schoolwork was, and I pissed off all of my teachers. Uh, yeah, uh, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking those skills that I learned on my own that I didn't have, that I didn't waste on useless schoolwork, useless homework, whatever they're teaching. I didn't use any of that. Uh, Wanted to be an artist from day one. That's what I'm uh, using now. Filling in whatever. Uh, this is a very fast process, and I'm going to switch to the build up, not the alpha now. This part is looking kind of flat. Flesh that out a bit, give him some nice pecs. The American public school system. I don't miss that one bit. Basically, like mandatory daycare. no point to it. Like once you get past learning the basics, you need you either pursue more knowledge on your own volition, or you don't, and you pursue other things. How life goes. Not everyone wants to be put through the cookie cutter puppy mill that is the American public school system. Ooh, I like that detail. You see, just like random stuff happens, like happy little clouds. You know, like what Bob Ross would say, happy little clouds. Just like the just doing some shading here, and like the arc that I was naturally doing just kind of goes into this pattern. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that curve. It looks nice. Uh, I don't know if it's really scientifically accurate, but that's kind of like the beauty of creature modeling. You don't have to be super, you don't have to be like super nitpicky, uh, which is fun. It's really fun. And I do like this detail that's kind of naturally evolved, this rounded plate that's jutting out from here. I wonder if I can repeat that plate all the way down. So I just use the move brush and I just push that up, like so. Like so. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, I do like that. Is it like this plated look that I really dig. And then there is this curve here that I want to keep as well. I actually want to narrow it a bit more so it has like this wasp look. Wasps are evil, as everyone knows, and I want this creature to be evil. It's gonna be an evil creature. Maybe it's mutated by demonic forces. Who knows? There's so many scenarios, possible scenarios for how a creature like this came to be. And telling story uh, through artwork is really fun. I'm gonna turn body paint back on to see what it looks like with legs. Right, so yeah, time to go. That's forever. I'm just gonna do it. Turn these pieces into uh, turn this armature into legs. If I tap A, I'll turn Z spheres into an armature preview. After this, you want to go to adaptive skin, and you can either leave Dynamesh resolution on or off. I like to have it off. Sometimes it's helpful to have it on though. Really up to your call. And then when you're happy with how this looks, you want to go press on Make Adaptive Skin. If you click that, you can go back to your subtool, and then in Append, you'll see the skin underscore whatever name the subtool was. In this case, it's Z-sphere 1. So if you pen that, you now have proper geometry. This is not Z-spheres anymore. This is an armature that the Z-sphere has made. And it even comes with polygroups. Helpful. Like hide different pieces. But I don't want this right now. I don't want to make a skin yet. So I'm just going to delete that. Back to my Z-spheres. Do that. Press A again to turn off preview. And then I want to put in the spikes I was talking about earlier. And these gnarly, massive, gnarly spikes here. Gonna put these to the side, kind of like how. Wait, I want to have the spike coming out from there. At least not the initial spike. I want the spike coming out from here. A bit farther. Whoops. A bit farther ahead. A bit farther forward. The picture. Kind of like a praying mantis. I do like the idea of any little claws there. Like, was it? They have it like over, or no? They have it. They have it under the hands. I think. Let me go look up a reference. Can't believe I forgot what praying mantis arms look like. Okay, yeah, so it is over. It is over, and it's actually kind of long. But you know, I want to keep it short. I don't want it to be exactly like a praying mantis claw. I want it to have its own design. Because it is also part like whip scorpion too. So this is going to be the first claw, first prong on the claw. Quite a fairly important piece here. Takes a little bit, because we could animate this end piece as well. This separate claw, we could animate that. So I do want to notice this as it could be possibly animated. Open up the claws here a bit more too. To do that. And as a 3D feature character artist, it is good to know at least a little bit of animation. Very helpful. And like how game engines work and cloth physics, all that. Anything related to characters you wanna study. Like a free game engine. Pick up Unity, Unreal Engine. Maybe build your own if you know how to program and you want to be a 3D modeler as well. Let's go divide this into. I do want to have like a light arc. One thing you learn from making plate armor is that everything has a slight curve to it. Everything. You don't want straight lines, at least perfectly straight. You want everything to be slightly curved. Because, I don't know, it just looks better and it usually works out better. And also, the human bones aren't straight either. And human bones are usually curved. Curves. That for the elbow joint here. I'm just gonna leave it as is and then I'll move it back. I want these to be a bit stockier. Where it connects, it has to be very sturdy. Very sturdy connections. Be a bit too sturdy. Or maybe it's just too curved. Alright, I can also scale it. Maybe I should do with the scaling. Oh, now he's not too sure like how scaling works for these Z-spheres. You have to click on the right area. Maybe it's here? Now that just makes the diameter spheres bigger, thinner or bigger. Thinner or thicker. I'm trying to do that. Oh, okay, so I was just holding down Alt. To make it thinner or thicker, you hold down Alt. To scale it, you don't hold down Alt, you just click and drag. So I was a bit fussy on that. Now I know. Yeah, that's nice. I want it to curve forward a bit. Sometimes you don't know what you should do until you just do it. In that case, like the curvature of the arm, I wasn't exactly sure what curve would look best for the arms. Because right now I'm not really working from reference, which I should. I don't know, it's the weekend. I want to sculpt something and relax. I want to sculpt something for work. That's cool. I like that. You see that from there to there? That makes a massive difference. These little differences that make all the difference in the world. Gordon Freeman. Chat. I forgot. Yo, Zeph, why is this monstrosity? What is this monstrosity and why does it look so good? It is, in my headcanon, it's like some sort of underwater sea creature that uh, ambushes prey and feeds on rotting or dead corpses. And it's quite large too. Like it can bite off a human head large. Shiny, let me texture you. That's really cool. I don't know. I could do some poly paint. That could be cool. Though maybe not on this stream because it's probably like a 3-4 hour stream. I don't know how long it's been. This one has a 3 AM, I'll maybe. Okay, noted. Make this more skinny. Then, oh, you know, I've fallen into the trap of playing around with Z-spheres too long. I gotta get going. I just gotta keep. I can't play with Z-spheres anymore. This is like the most addicting thing to do. Like you can just play with these spheres forever, and you'll forget the time, and then eventually you'll just be like, "Oh, why am I working on this model? I'm so tired of playing with spheres." So you gotta get past this point. This is a scary trap to be in. Like if you just keep playing with the spheres, you'll never get anything done. I swear, this is a real thing that happens. So I just gotta, man, I just gotta get past this sphere thing. I just gotta throw in a few quick spikes here and get going before I get lost in a sea of spheres and never return. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna make a few large spikes here, and then I can do whatever else really in later on. It doesn't matter. The point is just to get the armature done as fast as I can, and then move on. A bit too crazy. can really get absorbed by the details in this um, session. Right, that's good enough. I'm gonna armature it. Adaptive skin. Press A preview. Damage is 0. Make adaptive skin. Hide the armature. I might want that later. I'll just down the bottom. Append skin Z for. Alright. Important thing is that I have my armature. I'm just gonna hit polish a few times. Knock it with polish a bit, and there. Now it's much more organic looking already. So now I can just use like, yeah, I'm gonna use clay buildup, and then I'll use move. Use move now. It's just gonna be like the same thing as using textures. I'm just gonna get too absorbed into using the move brush. I'm gonna use clay buildup instead. Maybe work on the joints, because the joints are important. Almost more so than the spikes actually, because the joints are they're points in space. They're like vertices. The points are very important. What give the entire piece structure. Okay, I have to use move brush. And here, it's gonna be like an S-shaped curve. That's quite cool. And here. And then spikes, I'll do some quick curves. Just like knock them forward. So let's see what happens if they actually do move their claws. I'm gonna mess that out. Move on the mask and see. It's pretty scary. So in line with the tip, I can go to perspective mode. Oh wait, I was already in perspective mode, and then oh my god, that looks pretty sick. What do you guys think? That's scary or what? But right now they still kind of look like tree branches. I gotta go and fix that. They actually look like claws. Spitting image of my ex. Harsh. What I can do, actually, I do sort of want to toss in some quick poly paint. Mostly just so it looks nicer while I'm working on it. Object, and then D is the hotkey for picking the color, so I have the same color of blue. And back to standard brush, RGBs, the add is off, the sub is off. And let's go to backface mask, because how animals work, they usually have a light underbelly and a dark over Overbelly. No, I usually have a dark carapace, or whatever. You'll see this on like everything except for like maybe humans. I don't know why we don't have uh, variation. Lame. Yeah, just knock some color in there. Oops. I do kind of want to leave this area light because it's nice like that. We could add like some banding. You know what could be cool? Like you see this on like mosquito legs, just like banding down the legs. Wouldn't this be cool? We can do this. There's a lot of potential with this sculpt. You can do like banding on the leg. It's a really crazy shit. Banding here. I think this is also on sort of pattern. Might also be on the whiptail scorpion. I didn't get a very close look, but there might be like some sort of really cool patterning like that. And then like back here, maybe around the edge. Oops, like around here, like that. That could be really cool. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. Like painting in specular now. Actually painting in pattern. Yeah. There has to be like some patterning here. And white speckling could be cool. What could that do for like camouflage? Would that camouflage you better on the ocean floor, or would that maybe it's like a defense mechanism? Who knows? You gotta think about these sort of things as an artist. Just bump up your art to the next level. I think the more you think about how a creature is in its own environment. All right, the pause too. Let's go. There to the lower jaw. I still need to work on this part actually. Let's go do that. Boss Negra asks me in Discord, does ZBrush actually have texture tools? Yes. You can do 3D texturing as well as 2D texturing, even at the same time. So you can use like standard brush, and then you can put on an alpha even. Like I use this alpha a lot uh, for leathery textures. This one is just like default. It comes with ZBrush already, and you can even put on RGB mode. So, so let's go get something that stands out. Let's go use some red. You do this, and then you can sculpt, and you can also color at the same time, which is pretty insane. So if you want to do like some quick wounds or something, you can do like indentations and do like that, and you have an instant claw mark. Pretty cool stuff. You can do a lot of stuff like this. Like, oh god, the pain, trauma. Yeah, that's enough. So yeah, ZBrush is a very good texturing tool. Yeah, the life. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. Yes, you should get into ZBrush if you're interested in 3D modeling. This is what like every artist uses. It's just so powerful. Let's go do something with the eyes. The eyes. How about like an orange? Orange is always good to go with blue. You'll notice this a lot with like Hollywood movies and stuff, because it is the contrast of blue. So let's go use orange, and let's go use jelly bean because I don't know, it looks wobbly, wibbly wobbly. Let's go use like a uh, light yellow orange. Let's go fill object with mRGB, material RGB. Go back to white. Change material back to, what do we have? Toy plastic. Hmm. No, I don't. Material's not good. Let's not use that. Let's just go use the same toy plastic. Yeah, that's good enough. Shouldn't play too much around with the matte caps because matte caps will distort how you see a model. So, like, you can do like all sorts of different materials, and they're really gonna mess up like what you see. uh, Best thing to do, actually, if you're doing texture work, what you should do is just turn off matte cap entirely. Just go to flat color, and then you can see what your texture looks like without all of the matte cap nonsense. So this is what the texture looks like, which is really nothing. This is like, you can tell like I've hardly done any work on the texture at all. There's like no work at all. So if you're doing texturing, you want to go to this mode and you want to paint in this mode. You don't want to paint with when you have like this on. Because then you can't tell. You can't tell like how good your textures really are. And if you paint in this mode and then you turn off the matte cap, you're gonna find out that your painting looks like shit. Your texture work looks horrible. So yeah, you want to turn off matte caps when you're doing your painting. I had to learn that the hard way. Anyway. Perry Berry in Discord says, you fucked up the front legs. Yeah, you can say that. Don't blame you there. They're pretty crazy. Banding looks hot too. What the fuck? Why do Exanima look so dope? That's a good question. Madoc really does good texture work. Like, I don't actually do the texturing in the game. Madoc and the rest of the team does all of the textures, and it's all procedural, which is another thing. Like, you just slap on a few materials, and like they have it set up so everything is procedural, and it's really advanced stuff. You don't have to hand paint anything. Yeah, a ton of work has gone into the materials and texturing systems for Xanima. Anyway, let's turn off the poly paint. It's distracting again, and it's really just oops, let's play groups. It's really not necessary for modeling right now. I'm gonna go back into solo and just finish up the rough detail by going back to Damien standard. Actually, I want to mark out where the legs come out from. I just want to draw some quick circles here. Do that. Happy little circles. Do that. And there. And that's all I have to do. Alright, so now I know where the legs are. I'm just going to content myself with that and sculpt around there. Have at it. And be the carapace. I should kind of mark out the hard and soft areas because I don't want to lose track of what is hard and what is soft. Otherwise, everything's gonna kind of look like a blob in the end. So if you'll notice, I'm mostly using the Damien standard brush on the soft areas, and like drawing circles, and then I'm drawing circles around circles. This will mark out the hard areas and the soft areas, and then also add on some sweet detail too. You can never have enough detail. No matter what anyone tells you, there's never enough detail. On anything. Everything has to be super detailed. Oh, I like that S pattern here. You see that? It's like a curve here and then a curve there and then a curve there. I don't know if you'll ever see this kind of S-shaped pattern on like crabs or spiders, but I don't know, it looks good, so I'm gonna keep it. Oh shit, symmetry's not on. Okay, I was mostly working on one side, kind of like a habit that I instilled into myself. I usually just work on one side, so in case this does happen, I can just mirror and weld, then have symmetry back again. I usually don't forget about symmetry. Weird. Don't always remember to keep your symmetry on, keep it off, depending on what you're doing. I mean, it's not too difficult to fix it, but what does suck, like you have symmetry off, and then you start doing some cool details here, and then you start doing some cool details here, and then like half an hour passes by and you realize you have detail on this side and also this side, and then you go to like mirror and weld, and then what are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna mirror and weld that? You want to mirror and weld details on both sides. It would be difficult. I don't even know if that's even possible. Oh, whoops. Color. Standard. And I have some stuff. How does it feel to have worked for more than 5 years? I haven't worked for more than 5 years on this project, but I think I am nearing the 4-year mark, or maybe I've just passed it for Exanima, which is crazy because it doesn't feel like 4 years. It only doesn't feel like it's been that long. Um, hmm. Maybe I need to bump the size of my demon brush, and you can do is like bump it up really high, and then you can actually just knock in. Yeah, it's too flat there. Just knock in some detail there, large scale detail. This works quite well on high poly sculpt. So you just make the brush massive, and then yeah, so it doesn't look super lumpy in the end. Back to comments. Procedural texturing is really yeah. It's good. It takes a lot of work to set up, but once it is set up, it's good. I'm getting comments in YouTube. Leif says, "What if you make manufactured claws asymmetrical, like sharp claw?" Yeah. Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, I should make them asymmetrical because crab claws are asymmetrical, and the sharp claw idea is really good. It goes in with the shark, like the rocky look. Like I can also add like barnacles and stuff to this. Oh my god, I can like add parasites, barnacles, and all other kinds of like sea life crawling on the carapace of this thing. That'd be really sick. Great idea, Leif. Um, Aiden Verde. Discord says, "Why are you sculpting thick crabs?" Hey, crabs be thick. I like thick crabs. Don't judge. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up the rough sculpt. Just go. Otherwise, this thing is gonna take forever. I'm gonna be like just spray and pray details onto this thing because it's actually pretty fun. If you go as fast as you can, like this, because then you make mistakes, but they aren't really mistakes when you're working with organic. Chaos is good. I want like this. I want to keep in mind that there's like pattern that goes down. Everything has patterns. You repeat that detail down like that. It looks pretty cool. It looks kind of like a rib cage. So because it looks like a rib cage, I'm gonna have ridges go down like this and really accentuate that shape because I think it looks cool. It's not even. These arches are not even, but it doesn't have to be, which is what I really love about creature sculpting. You don't have to be accurate to make it look good. You just have to make it look good. It really does start to look like bone. I have to be careful to not make it look too much like a rib cage, otherwise, well, it's just gonna look like a rib cage or a vertebra or something. And I guess I'll tighten up this silhouette here because right now it's just a lumpy mess. Oops. Actually, I should do add because for some reason my pen tip and not my eraser for this. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't want that there. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Although, you sort of want to have like a and it just goes around like this. It does look pretty cool. Like that. You do that and then just like tighten it with like some random noise that's not perfect. That. Oh, that looks cool. I like that. See, there's like lines going in because I was drawing circles. Let's go do more of those lines. It kind of makes like the skin look stretched and taut. Right, I'm gonna finish up this this area here. I'll get back to comments in a bit. I kind of ignore you guys when I'm forward, but I kind of have to. Otherwise, I'm gonna spend forever on this sculpt and just talk and not actually sculpt. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. Oh, shit. Like tightening up these lines, I'm finding random curves here too. And then yeah, this is a lot of noise and detail. Uh, I will refine things later on, so it's less noisy and the details just pop out more and are less messy looking. Right now, I don't want to have a blank canvas. Pull things in. For the carapace, I can't be as carefree as I want to be, as I could on the other side, because carapace is kind of similar to armor in that it is like hard surface. So I have to be a bit more careful here and not be as crazy. And there's like some detail here that I want to eke out. So that's cool. Maybe, maybe it's a bit too. I have to be careful here. Really designate areas. There we go, and then there we go. There we go. There. Yeah, that matches up with the outer carapace. The ridge line here matches up with the central ridges. And of course I'll continue the flutes down from here around to here. And actually I'll fill those in right now. So I have something to go, oh, not do that high of intensity. Let's kind of do lower. I don't trust my accuracy. Nope. That down the middle. Okay. Looks good. I'm gonna sit back and drink a bit of tea. My mouth doesn't go dry talking. Ugh. What does the comment say? Okay. Asymmetrical. Yeah, I'll do that. The spider. Anything with time. I already read those. Seaweed gilly soup. Yeah, sure. Let's throw some seaweed on this thing. SpongeBob. Yeah. It'd be cool to just like hide SpongeBob somewhere on the sculpt. Like an Easter egg, that'd be hilarious. Or if I had like infinite time and infinite resources, I just like sculpt the entirety of Bikini Bottom on like one of the one of the plates on the back. Oh, doing some stretches. I should probably get to sleep soon. Actually, it's already 3 a.m. here. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of the detailing, the rough detailing on the back here, and then I'm probably gonna call it for a day. But it was super fun hanging out and doing this sculpt. And I'll continue this probably tomorrow. We'll see when I have time. Yeah, it's pretty fun. You guys actually motivate me to make more artwork. Like honestly, I've been playing too many games. I can't make artwork if I'm addicted to games, and kind of a conundrum. Make the art and then consume the art. I kind of gotta balance it out. I don't want to give the spikes here. Let's go make it less bright. Partial my. Kind of want to make this fluted. I sort of want to like say angelic wing pattern, but of course this is obviously not an angel, but you sort of want to give it that sleek, almost I want to say like beautiful fluting, because sea creatures are like beautiful, like they have patterns to them that are really cool sometimes, even if like their face is ugly as hell. Sometimes they just have really cool designs on them. Like you can be ugly and beautiful at the same time. That's so cool about uh, sea creatures. And in fact, I'll continue this patterning down to the abdomen plates as well. A little bit bigger. define the points a bit more too. Your points defined. That and smaller brush because smaller plate. Why are you the mailman of bare metal? uh, by mailman, I guess you mean like the guy who posts coffee diaries, right? Uh, I don't know. I don't know why I'm the mailman of bare metal. I just kind of fell into the role. Like I was seeing like a lot of salt. Honestly, I was seeing a lot of salt on both the official forums and also uh, team forums because everyone's like, "Hey, not enough communication. Where's the communication? Game hasn't been updated in forever." Or how come like you guys never talked to us on Kickstarter? I thought like this is kind of like this is something that could be solved. I don't know. Maybe like Maddock is kind of scared of you guys. It's rough being a game developer. Um, Difficult to take negative feedback. Yeah, it's I mean like one time I think we even got like death threats because bare metal wasn't communicating well enough. But I think that was just some crazy random dude. Uh, yeah, like honestly, I consider myself more of a player than a game developer, and I know what happens to games that don't talk directly to their player base. I've seen it happen so many times. Like this is just like a repeated mistake that I see that like studios do. Like, every single one of them, like they don't talk to their player base like directly. They either don't they either ignore them or they hire customer support or like community managers to talk for them, and I think that's a real shame. It's like a missed opportunity. Uh, it's a massive missed opportunity that devs don't talk to their players because players are the people who spend hours playing your game. Like you don't have hours to play the game because you're making the game. Um, so you need to listen to these players. If you don't listen to them, your game is gonna crash and burn. Yeah, Maddock is usually pretty good with communication. Not gonna lie, but I do think like I feel like players shouldn't have to come up to developers directly to understand what's going on. Like if they have to like directly message Maddock every single time they want information on how the game is progressing, or like what are the plans for the game, what we're doing, then it's going to be very inconvenient for uh, not only them but for us. It's going to be a pain in the ass to have to answer everyone individually. I mean, we still do that to a certain extent, but uh, it's just so much better to have the weekly coffee diary. I think like Bungie does this too. They have like a TWAB this week at Bungie. I know like Path of Exile is really good at communicating with their player base too. I think Warframe used to be pretty good, but I kind of don't know what's going on at Warframe now. Digital Extremes. I mean, their community managers are pretty good. What are your thoughts on procedural weapons? Great, you know, like there's gonna be so many variations. Like it's it's an infinite loot chase for procedural weapons. You, there's gonna be so much that you can do in the game now. Well, when procedural weapons arrives, you can spend hours just uh, trying to get the perfect weapon, perfect ideal weapon that you want. Um, so yeah, I'm actually personally looking forward to that too because uh, it'd be great to get um, like a 500 that has oh, I don't know, cool looking brilliance. Even though I'm the guy who sculpted all the spy handers already. So uh, there are a lot of really cool spy handers in there. But yeah, looking forward to the procedural weapons. I gotta say I'm honestly more excited for multiplayer though. That's when multiplayer arrives, then that's gonna change everything. That could be. We were talking about like it'd be cool to have. It might even be cool to have like the coffee diaries, like the dev meetings in game. We can all like show up as our characters and sit around a table and discuss things for the weekly coffee diary or what the plans are for the future for the week. And of course also like duel each other. You can like settle disagreements by like bashing each other over the head with flails and sticks, all that good stuff. I really wish that, yeah, me too. Like, there's lag compensation that makes ping of 100 ms seamless. Oh, I didn't know about that. I really don't know anything about networking. Like networking is like a mystery to me. Uh, uh, I mean, I know a little bit about programming, but networking is completely out of my league. It would be interesting to see how uh, Maddock and Co. handle networking. I would be very curious to see how it all works. Um, are you gonna have your in-game Easter egg like Tony Gloves or Rob Bottle? I didn't even know that Rob had a bottle. I know that Tony has gloves. Yeah, I don't know. I can always like write something stupid into like the side of a creature. Nah, I don't know. I haven't done any Easter eggs actually. I should though. Funny. And you got me thinking about what kind of Easter egg I should maybe write into like some armor or I want a hole. I don't know. Okay. This part here is going to have quite a lot of like wrinkle uh, wrinkle details because this is like a softer part of the creature. It has to have like has to be able to move. Like even though it's very sturdy and stocky creature, it's also very fast and agile. At least in my headcanon. Very fast and agile creature because it's also an ambush predator. It has to be fast and agile to reach up and jet out of a hole or something and grab a whale or a shark or something, just nom it up. Oh, you know what could be cool? Let's go add the same detail that's on the outside here to the central uh, center here. I want to add some rather prominent uh, dorsal ridge, very prominent dorsal ridge. Be very cool. That oops. Yeah, it looks kind of rough right now, but I'll tone things down a bit, refine things. It's all about roughing in things and refining things. Some of the early rough outs could look rather shocking actually, and like, oh my god, it looks terrible, get rid of that. Something you have to kind of be careful of as a 3D artist actually, like when to show your model so it isn't outright rejected in horrible trash. Like if you show your model in the super early stages, you're gonna get a bunch of feedback that's mostly negative. But if you refine your model a bit more before you show it, then people will actually understand what you're trying to do. Just like being a massive blob of whatever. You're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so cool, but other people won't be able to see what you're seeing. You gotta kind of wait till you gotta wait for the right moment to show model, but not wait too long for it. Logical mode on because it's a bit thinner. right. I like it. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. So yeah, this is probably a good time to end the stream. It's starting to get a bit hazy due to being sleepy, I guess. But yeah, super fun hanging out with you guys. Let me go check chat one more time. Wasn't Brendan in the multiplayer department? Yes, actually, Brendan is actually working directly with Maddock and I believe Durin. I think they're all like living in the same house, in the same place, and their multiplayer is one of the things being worked on right now, if I understand correctly. But it's going to be a while until we actually see anything multiplayer. Yes, yeah, like multiplayer is like something we're talking about and like really looking into. At least, um, yeah, it's not going to be in. There's going to be a few updates before multiplayer arrives, but it is something we're looking into right now. Um, Having the names after the sun and it's very obvious at the start. But Matt gets pissed off but can't do anything about it because it's become a landmark. Looks so prehistoric now. Yes. I'm gonna sleep this guy. I'll come to you at 3 a.m. No, that sounds horrible. I don't want this guy near me at all. Secretion, thanks. But yeah, it would be funny to put my own Easter egg into something. Maybe if Maddock asked me to make another statue, I'll put something on that statue that is like Zathras is awesome, or like I don't know, it has to be something good. Okay, yeah, I gotta stop. If I keep sculpting, I'm just gonna keep sculpting and sculpting until I drop dead, exhausted. Because this thing is like such a addicting thing to work on. And yeah, I gotta stop here before I get crazy. Let's go try and let's go do one last preview. Like, oh, here I have it on. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, I was like, I already had this selected, but I didn't realize because I'm tired. I realize when you're tired. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go turn polypaint on and then maybe like touch it up a little bit with, I don't know, make it a bit more presentable. Then and then I'll post the image in Discord and you guys can go check it out. No. Ooh. Whereas standard, don't want alpha on, not MRGB. I want RGB, no Z add, and this should just be white color. I can. Oh, rising. Yeah. Oh, what I can do is actually this is something cool. You can just do masking by cavity, and then you'll automatically get a bunch of details that you can work with, and just invert that plus minus. Grab this color, I guess, and very dark. It's the masking color. That's cool. I'm just gonna do that. Turn off view mask, and then just like hit it with some mask by cavity, and you get like a bunch of detail in there. And then I can brighten it up by selecting that, invert that, view mask, and turn down RGB non-intensity. That sort of want to, I sort of want to just like get rid of the old details. The old details kind of stuck. Clear RGB fill object. Oops, RGB 100 fill object. object. Well, actually, no, I'll keep that there because I didn't do any sculpting on that. But I want to get the blue and mask my cavity. Hit the plus button, or minus button actually, and then plus. I want the blue to be rather prominent. Back face mode is on. Symmetry is on. Let's do here. Oops, we're too strong. Big. Like that. That. These won't be final textures. It's nice to touch things up a bit to just make the preview image not look horrible. Okay, cool. And then maybe mask my smoothness. I do that, and then yeah, and then invert that. Get the brighter white color. You mask, and up with a bit of white. And as you can see, like this takes like literally no work at all, but already your model work in progress is much more presentable. Although it still doesn't look that great, but I mean, it looks okay for a work in progress. And also what you can do is, oops, not group loops, that, fuck it, just press that button again. No, I want that there. And then click on cavity, mask my cavity, invert, new mask. What color should the blood be? Maybe like some sort of light green, like bugs? Red, I don't know. Anyway, you want to select the blood color, and then actually kind of add a bit of blood color to the other side. Yeah, maybe some neat detailing work. So, I don't know, pretty messy, but there too. Oh, you know, what we can do is get the eye color and then add in there too. I don't know. Oh, crazy. Just a little bit of that color there. Orange spots down the orange here, maybe. And of course, there's also the banding. Copy that. Take the mask off, and also just hit it with a bit of banding. That looks pretty bad. I don't know. I shouldn't spend too much time on this, obviously. Like, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I'll clean it up later. It's good enough. I gotta go to sleep. Shift R for render, and I'm just gonna take a snapshot here. What if I just post this in off topic, because I don't know, it's not really general anymore, is it? It's mostly off topic. And you guys want to check that out on Discord. Yeah, a lot to do. Anyway, I am gonna go to sleep. See you guys later, and I'll probably next stream I'll finish this guy up. Have a good one.